If you've ever hit a point in your business where no matter how hard you work, nothing moves, welcome to what I call the painful plateau. It's that frustrating space where results stall, momentum fades, and burnout starts creeping in. But here's the truth. Your plateau isn't a problem, it's a signal. A signal that it's time to grow, not grind. In this episode, I'm breaking down the 2 powerful levers that will get you unstuck. If you're tired of hitting ceilings in your business, this episode is your breakthrough plan. Welcome to the Cody Hoffine Show, the place for entrepreneurs who want more clarity, more alignment, and more meaning in their business and in their lives. I'm Cody Hoffine, and each week I bring you lessons from my own journey and conversations with people who face the same struggles, challenges you're dealing with right now. Together, we'll explore the habits, the mindsets, and the decisions that create real success at work and at home. So let's get right to it. I am super pumped for this episode because the framework, as you listen to this, it really is going to break down the simple work, not easy, the simple work that will allow you to get past these painful plateaus. Now, we talked about these levers. There's only 2 levers that you got to play with when you're in this painful plateau. The first lever is skill set. So I want you to think, the question I want you to be thinking, if you're feeling a plateau, well, let me tell you this. Let's rewind just a second. You're either in the middle of a plateau where you feel like you're stalling, you've hit a ceiling in your business, or you just broke through a ceiling just recently, or there's a ceiling coming your way. To each of you out there, I want you to understand this. The plateaus, they will forever happen. It's just part of growth. It's part of life. As you continually get better, your problems get bigger. And it's gonna present new challenges, new struggles in your business. And each time you get to come back to this framework. Lever number 1, skill set. So I want you to ask your question. If you're in the middle of a plateau or when this plateau hits for your business, the first question I need you to ask yourself is, what skill set do I lack to get through or get to the other side of this plateau? Just a simple question like that. Why? Because it puts you on the journey of reflection. Reflection is what gives us this awareness. And I always tie back to this ACR, awareness, choices, results. Better awareness allows you to make better choices. With better choices, you have better results. So by just simply reflecting upon what skill set do I lack to break through this plateau allows you to now pull out the journal, the stuff that no one wants to do. Guys, business for most people, they think it's just fun. Just show up, meet people that are high level, connect with people, do affiliate marketing. We're gonna go do some awesome events and all this stuff we're gonna do together. No, guys. The real business is the stuff that no one really talks about. It's what most people would say, dude, that's boring. I don't wanna do that stuff. It's the stuff that matters. Pull out a journal and start reflecting upon what is the skill set you lack. Because if you don't work on new skills, acquiring new skills, or bettering your current skills so that you can just simply break through this plateau, you're gonna be stuck in this painful plateau until you do the work. So ask yourself the question and sit back. Now, reflection ties me to a quote that I love from John Maxwell. He said, "Experiences is the mother of all learning." We've heard this a bunch, right? But John Maxwell says it's quoted wrong. It's completely wrong. It's not experiences that's the mother of all learning. It's the reflection upon the experiences which is the mother of all learning. Because anyone that's 80 years old would naturally have more experience than someone that's 20 years old. But there's 80-year-olds out there, because they haven't taken time to reflect upon those experiences, you probably wouldn't listen to them. They probably wouldn't have any wisdom to give you. For that reason, it's not just the experiences that make the mother of all learning, it's the reflection. Now, as you reflect, let me give you an example of what this really looks like. First and foremost, reflect and diagnose. Define the specific area of constraint. So if you're in this plateau, you're in the middle of it, I want you to really define, what's the constraint? Maybe, let me give an example. Maybe the constraint is, gosh, every time I hire someone, it causes this anxiety, it causes this stress, and then ultimately it never works out. And so I end up firing them, and then it's back to me again doing everything because no one cares about their business more than I care about it. And so, gosh, I think that's my constraint. My constraint is I don't know how to expand who I am and bring on someone that cares about the business as much as I am. Maybe there's the constraint, right? We got a lot of solopreneurs out there. Solopreneurs that continue to do all the work. They're wearing all the hats. They're just working in the business. They're never working on the business. And so maybe the constraint is I don't know how to multiply myself. Now, let's identify, after you know the diagnose, you reflected, and you've defined what the area of constraint is, let's identify the missing skill. Let me give you an example. If someone has that constraint, I don't know how to multiply myself. Now identifying the missing skill would be delegation, leadership. These individuals that are having a hard time keeping team members, or everyone that works for me is a C player, I can't find and attract these A players. Here's what I will tell you. That is a skill. If you want to attract and keep A players, you yourself must be an A leader that's worthy of an A player to be on your team. So if you're having a hard time even finding A players, that, my friend, is something that you got to look in the mirror and realize it's because you're not an A leader. You've got to do the work. So your skill that you're missing is delegation. You don't know how to properly delegate to people to go out and multiply what you do. The other thing is you lack leadership. That's a skill. That's a muscle. Those are things you must do. So then after you've now discovered this, and I would say, for example, I'm in the real estate space. I have a franchise called Joe Homebuyer, and the painful plateau usually happens around 500K of revenue to 750K of revenue. And the first skill set that they're like, I don't know how to do this. It's usually delegation. It's usually they just don't know how to expand themselves. They don't know how to multiply themselves so they can go out there and build a bigger business. You can't just build a bigger business if it's just going to be a solopreneur job. You're always going to hit a plateau. You're always going to hit a ceiling. You can only do so much in a day. So the only way to grow a true business, one that serves you versus you always serving it, is making sure that you surround yourself with A players. And the only way you're going to do that is you becoming an A leader and learning how to properly delegate and lead a team to go out and maximize what you want them to do. That's the key point. After that, we got to design our growth plan. Here's what I'd say, a simple rule of thumb. It's called the rule of 100 hours. Write this down. All that's suggesting is over 365 days, AKA 1 year, you're gonna divide that by 100 hours, and it equals 18 minutes a day. Did you know if you just simply spend 18 minutes a day working on leadership, for this example, and working on delegation, 18 minutes a day, if you did that for 1 year, this would put you ahead of 95% of the human race that resides on this earth. Isn't that crazy? Just simply doing 18 minutes. It's not, I need to work 1 hour, 6 hours, 10 hours today on delegation leadership. By just small and simple means are big things brought to pass. So just simply setting up a game plan. Every day for 18 minutes, I'm gonna be working on this new skill set, delegation and leadership. And you'll see within a quick 90 days how you're able to now attract better talent, learn how to delegate so that you can maximize and get them and lead them to now go out and replicate what you used to do by yourself to build a real business. All right, now breakthrough lever number 2 is beliefs. Now, why beliefs? Why is it when we're in a plateau, we only need to do 2 things? We need to work on our skill set, and the second one is we need to work on our beliefs. So I want you to think, what are the beliefs? This is when you got to challenge, because you got to remember, as you grew up in life, you caught a lot of beliefs, stuff that you wouldn't have naturally believed. I want you to think back when you were a kid. You thought you could go to Mars. You thought you could be an astronaut. You thought whatever you wanted to be. I remember my boy, we were sitting at his preschool, and they ended up having every kid stand up and like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Everyone's like, a firefighter, all the boys, and a policeman and all this stuff. This cute little girl stands up and she says, I want to be a butterfly. And I remember me and my wife looking at each other and saying, oh my gosh, like that girl has no limiting beliefs. She believes at this moment in anything is real, anything is possible, because she believes she can become a butterfly. What is it like to dream like a little kid again versus as we grew up, we started catching these limiting beliefs. Oh, you know what? You probably won't be a millionaire because no one in our family's a millionaire. It's just not made in our genes. You guys, money has nothing to do with genetics. It has all to do with your daily habits. So next time someone tells you it's not in our genetics to do A, B, or C, I want you to understand you've got to pull that cancer right out of your body, that thought that they just told you, and don't believe it. Because this money or these things in life, rarely, I mean, I know there's heart diseases that are genetic. I get that. But when I talk about making money, how much you can make in life, has nothing to do with genetics. It has all to do with your daily habits. So what you're going to do is you're going to identify step by step. I'm going to show you through this. Identify some of these limiting beliefs. I want to think of blank. and I'm going to give you an example, but I keep thinking blank. So let me give you an example for that. I want to grow my business to $1.5 million of revenue, but I keep thinking, man, 1.5 million means I'm going to have to get a lot of team members, and a lot of team members means I'm going to have a lot of headaches, and I'm going to be babysitting, and then I'm going to have people that steal from me, and then they're only going to work with me in the middle of the time and just learn what I do, and then they're going to be my competition. Okay. I just unpacked a bunch, didn't I? Do you think I've heard this before? Why was that so easily said out of my mouth? Because as I sit down and coach people in my mastermind, as I sit there and coach people one-on-one, I hear people say these things all of the time. They're not true. They're just true to that individual. And that's why you have to challenge these beliefs. And you've got to make sure you challenge the ones that no longer serve you. If you want a $1.5 million business, you just got to believe you can build a $1.5 million business, but you've got beliefs that are holding you back from that ever happening. So I want to fill in the blank, build a $1.5 million business as an example, but I keep thinking, but no one in my family has ever been a millionaire, so I don't think I can. That, my friends, is a limiting belief. So you got to recognize that limiting belief, and then you need to reframe it. So now rewrite the narrative. I'm becoming the kind of person who is worthy of building a $1.5 million business. And then you continually rehearse this over and over every single day. I'm becoming the kind of person who is worthy of a $1.5 million business. I'm becoming the kind of person who is worthy of building a $1.5 million business. And you continually say it. Now, it's not just as easy as saying it, because sometimes when you say that, you're like, yeah, I'm saying it, but deep down, I still don't believe it. Then here's what I'd say to you guys. Don't look down. I want you to look 5 years ahead. And I want you to get in the rooms with people who've already developed the skills and broken through the beliefs you're struggling with. They're out there. They're everywhere. And then pay to play. Those rooms aren't going to be free, but guess what? When you break through those limiting beliefs, it's going to be amazing for you. You're going to finally build the business. You're going to finally become the individual that you've been hoping to build or hoping to become. These things are not costs. They're investments, and they're investments in your next level. So I would ask you, what are the skill sets that you lack if you're in that plateau? First and foremost, don't look at them as curse. The plateaus are nothing but God's blessings, unveiling to you the things you need to work on so that you can become better. One that is able to then grow a bigger business. One that is able to have maximum impact with clients, maximum impact with team. You're able to fulfill dreams of others because you're now exceeding and you're now growing these skill sets. You're now challenging these limiting beliefs and you're getting rid of them and you're adopting these new beliefs because you're putting yourself in the right rooms where people are believing these things. They've already overcome these same challenges you've overcome. They've grown these skill sets that you're looking to grow. You guys, that's the way. Don't do this alone. Leverage podcasts, leverage books, leverage the rooms. And yes, they're going to cost money, but do it. Put yourself in there. It's the best investment. Everyone talks to me, Cody, I have $50,000. How would you invest it? My first thing is invest in you. It's not real estate. It's not the stock market. It's not crypto. The first and best investment is always in you because your income is only going to grow to the level of your personal development. Period. The end. So if you're someone that's stuck in a painful plateau right now, what's one courageous step that you can take today? And I close with this. Be courageous and take the step. I know as you listen to this, you might have had an aha moment. Oh my gosh, I have some of these limiting beliefs and these are the limiting beliefs. With better awareness, I want you now to make better choices because when you make better choices, you're going to get better results. And that's all you got to do is repeat that cycle. Thank you so much for being here. Go out there, adopt this principle. It's not hard. All you got to do is understand that when you have a plateau, it's a skill set problem and a limiting belief problem. And as you work at those, it's going to unlock this plateau so you can break through and go to higher highs. Thank you for being here. Here's my ask. Go over, subscribe to this podcast. Also, if you'd be kind, leave a 5-star review. If this is something that you're like, oh my gosh, this is making sense, I love this, please leave a 5-star review. And on top of it, if someone came to your mind and you're thinking about them as you listen to this episode, please share it with them. This is how I'm able to break through the podcast algorithms out there that hold most podcasts back because there's so much noise. There's so many podcasts out there. If this resonated with you, share it. It will help me in my goals of having a massive impact on as many people as possible. And you get to play a role in that. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode.